Selamat malam, selamat datang di Bincang Seniman IMAJITARI 2022. Perkenalkan, saya Jos Marsi, saya yang akan menjadi moderator di dalam Bincang Seniman pada malam hari ini. Terima kasih untuk kehadiran rekan-rekan semua, baik yang sekarang bergabung di dalam Zoom, dan juga rekan-rekan yang bergabung di YouTube Dewan Kesenian Jakarta. Ya, sedikit memperkenalkan bahwa Bincang Seniman atau Artis Talk pada malam hari ini merupakan puncak acara dari penyelenggaraan IMAJITARI 2022, di mana penyelenggaraan Festival Film Tari ini sudah dilaksanakan di edisi yang keempat. Gitu. Tahun ini kita memiliki 1.145 karya yang mensubmisikan di dalam festival ini, dan pada malam hari ini nanti juga akan diumumkan 6 film terbaik IMAJITARI 2022. Untuk teman-teman yang saat ini ada di Indonesia, teman-teman di Indonesia yang di dalam Zoom ataupun di YouTube, kita juga akan punya live transkrip ya, terjemahan langsung secara transkrip nanti, dan teman-teman juga dihimbau untuk bisa terlibat langsung di dalam bincang-bincang pada malam hari ini lewat kolom chat yang di YouTube. Untuk yang di dalam ruang Zoom bisa juga mengetik lewat chat kalau misalnya ingin berdialog ataupun bertanya, atau juga bisa raise hand kalau mau berbicara langsung. So ya, dari momen ini saya akan mencoba untuk berbicara dalam bahasa Inggris, karena hari ini kita akan kedatangan rekan-rekan seniman kita dari belahan dunia lainnya. So ya, hello, good evening everyone. So thank you so much for your time. Today we're going to have an artist talk. This artist talk also conclude the festival, the IMAJITARI Dance Film Festival 2022. So just a short brief, this is our fourth festival has been held. And we this year we have like a broad range of work that has been submitted into the festival. The number is around 1,145 films, and everyone's it is very beautiful works, and I cannot say thank you enough for your participation to this festival, this year festival. So to moving forward from our today artist talk, I want to invite Melati Surodarmo, which is one of the jury for this year festival, but also last year festival. So hello, Mbak Melati.
I cannot oh yeah. Hello everyone.
Halo Mbak Melati, semoga kabar baik ya. Hopefully you are doing great today.
Yes, thank you. Hi Jos. Hello everyone here.
So Mbak Melati, could you tell us about your experience jury as a jury for this year and also from last year? How you see, how you feel this festival from these last 2 years, especially about dance film as a maybe it's a different practice also for our choreographers, and maybe for a lot of cinematographers in here in Indonesia, and maybe also from in other country as well.
Yeah. Okay. Last year, first of all, I want to say thank you to all filmmakers, choreographers who have submitted to IMAJITARI. It is an honor for us in Indonesia to receive such a big interest to participate in this festival. And congratulations to the winners, to the 6 filmmakers and choreographers We are very happy to have selected your films, and we are sure that your films will enrich also a lot of knowledge and discourse in the dance film scene in Indonesia. This is the second year I was involved as a jury for IMAJITARI. I am a performance artist. I'm also curator, artistic director, and I also studied experimental film in the 90s. So I do sometimes choreography works, which is a mix between dance and performance art. But my work is very much in between the space, like the context of space and body. So of course, as a jury, my practice influenced my way of seeing, of selecting, and also with a lot of reference of dance film and film, experimental film especially. So it influenced also my decision. For example, I think it is very interesting to have been following the Buto archive works that has been going, I think, since 2014 to 2013. Yeah, I think in Auto Inasa. That film, the filmmaking of the tree, the film that's entitled Tree, directed by Naoto Ina, in collaboration with Takao and Dai Sang and I forgot the woman name. By chance, I followed the Tokyo Underground last year. And I think it's very, very, very interesting to give the perspective of film and archiving a live performance and reenact for film, reenactment for camera, and edit it again in such like archive and film. It's very very interesting combination. And I think Buto itself has been a very important influence in the dance history in Asia and the performance art history in Asia. And so all the archive that the Dance Archive Network have been doing all these years, I think it's always very important to be shared for the worldwide. And then I thought, like after a lot of selections, and then the jury were thinking like what is should be considered newness and film from like cinematography, and also like the aspect of there are different aspects of gender, for example, and age of the filmmaker, and of course the choreography. But for us, it's not always easy to decide because the other two juries are not dancers; they are not in the dance world. So I was like the one who is a little bit more familiar actually with the dance world. But I think it's good because the other two juries are from the film scene, and I think their contribution, that the way they see films becoming a discourse for our selection. So one is archive, and then the other is about ecology. I think it's very interesting that Li Chen is also here to present like young dancers, young choreographers, and talking about the pollution and especially, you know, China and Beijing has a very high pollution rate, and I think this come again through dance in the landscape with a very interesting camera move and colors. So it was very interesting to present landscape and bodies, and to remember where we are now within our environment. So dance is not on dance film for us is not just choreographic works being recorded, but also like how we as a viewer can also understand the space behind the moving bodies, behind you know, the moving images. How can we are carried into different spaces? And then we also very impressed with the herbarium, yeah, which also use like classical staging of choreography, putting one single camera from the top and the moving season. Yeah, it's beautiful with classical music, so it's good to present some kind of ballet, ballet history and the classical music, and also like a very simple shot, you know. And it was also interesting because it was a choreography that is created for the piece, or stage piece, but then, you know, like it's like a semi documentation of a piece. This is also including in the dance film scene, I think. Oh, this is difficult title, L'heure bleue, from Danielle and Stefan Manderslot from the Netherlands. Also very interesting to follow like the contemporary dance bodies from, you know, like if we understand contemporary dance bodies from Europe, probably, then we can track, you know, the choreography, the scenery, the storyline, yeah, that she and he created to present the drama, the kind of a drama of an event, so that emotion and, you know, and the movement and the color of the film, the moving of the camera and the lights, and it's the cinematographically it is very interesting and very how do you say, emotionally attacking, actually not attached but attacking us, that our body, when we watch, especially women, when we watch the film, if we felt like something is that ourself is also getting involved, or at least reflected, you know. So gender has been always a subject also from the last year selection. And from Evie, thank you. Circular identity is very, how do you say, complex work, actually, yeah. It's complex editing, complex recording, and I think this whole thing also psychologically very intense. And so this, I think, how images can translate our, you know, like the viewer's presence. And I think this shifting, this layering is always powerful to remind us, you know, that in our body there's also probably soul. Is there breath, our breath, our soul, our flesh, and how it collapses together, how it can be beautiful, how it can be vulnerable. And so this whole things about identity is always carried on generation to generation and to every culture. But in this single often minimalist, and then like there is a reflections like the negative kind of coloring, and it's very mysterious, but also like it's always on the right moment, I think. So the editing is very precise. I like it very much, the rhythm, of the film. And then the Silver Veiled from Ginevra Panzetti and Enrico Ticconi from Germany. This film is, I also grew up in Germany for a long time, and I had the feeling of this black history, and also like the how the power of military has been repeated, from time to time, yeah, in our mankind history, and I think this film represents again a very subtle uh, essential messages of our dark history that we carried on in each country, but also like flag is a very symbolic object that always represent like victory, or domination, power, and so on. And this big black flag is very important, especially nowadays, where like there are wars everywhere and conflict, even starting during the pandemic. And if we think like black flag is also like representing those who are the death of people caused by the power of military. So the repetitive choreography and the rhythm of the film is very subtle and very interesting. Somehow it's very sad, but also this mankind that is always attached with conflicts is in this world is very, very, very sad too, yeah. So the jury, the selection process was very exciting, especially my colleagues. They are very critical. So our choices are totally different. Our choices are totally different, and our list totally different. But we somehow found some bridges that we select from the last selection was 29, and then we narrowed down to 10, and then we narrowed down to 6. So this was quite a long discussion to come to this last 6. Once again, thank you so much and congratulations. And I'm sure this selection will enrich also the how do you say, our reference on dance film in Indonesia. And we wish you to come, of course, one day and to be present at the festival. But yeah, thank you so much for your hard work. They're beautiful. They're very meaningful films. Thank you.
Thank you, Mbak Melati. Well, I remember the day that the jury gathering to talk about the 6 best dance film. It is quite it's very nice conversation, how you discussing, and it's very inspiring also to hear your conversation also with other jury as well. So Melati here also as a jury together with another 2. Unfortunately, 2 of them cannot come for today, which is Yuki Aditya and also Sidi Saleh. So yeah, and I also very interested with with your saying that dance film is not just filming the choreographic work, but it's rather to transport you. It's to create this moment, and I cannot agree more after watching this Sex Best dance film and also the other film as well. It is give you another nuance, not just watching film, but transferred to a certain moment. Just yeah, I found it very beautiful. Thank you so much, Mbak Melati. And yeah, so actually, after hearing Mbak Melati just now, you guys maybe already get the picture of the sixth best dance film, but I'll announce it again. Sixth best dance film of IMAJITARI 2022. So yeah, this is not in an order. Herbarium, directed by Ivona Pasinska, and Tree, directed by Naoto Ina, Silver Veil, directed by Ginevra Panzetti and Enrico Ticconi, Circular Identity, directed by Evi Samo, and Our Planet Destiny, directed by Chen Li, and Last Le Bleu, directed by how to say the name, Daniel Hu and Stefan Mandersloot. And congratulations for the sixth best dance film of IMAJITARI 2022. Thank you so much for your beautiful works, and yeah, thank you so much, and congratulations one more time. So so you guys have a if you watch already, so we have screening since last Thursday until this afternoon. But if you haven't watched their movie yet, we still have a short teaser for you guys in Zoom and also in YouTube to have a glimpse of their work. So please, here it is, sixth best dance film of IMAJITARI 2022. Yes, there it is, our sixth best dance film of IMAJITARI 2022. One more time, once again, congratulations for everyone who worked very hard for creating such a beautiful work. So now I want to invite our guest artists who will join with us in Artist Talk for tonight. We have Naoto Ina, who's directing the film Tree. Naoto Ina is a videographer, director, dramaturg, a visual scenographer, and producer based in Tokyo, Japan. He has been working on cross-genre works with video, dance, and text. He is also in charge of direction, composition, filming, and editing of the online Butoh program, Ributoh, within NPO Dance Archive Network. Hello, Naoto. And also together with Naoto today is Kuroda-san, his interpreter. Hello, good day, Kuroda-san.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah. And the other artists, also we have Evi Stamo. Hello, Evi. Evi, who directing Circular Identity. Evi Stamo has studied music in Patra Music Conservatory, filmmaking in Hellenic Cinema and Television School Stavrakos, and dance at Studio Plexis. She lives and works in Athens as a filmmaker, video artist, film programmer, and curators. In her artistic practice, she studied the relation between the traditional cinematic forms and the evolving approaches of modern art. So very nice to have you here, Effie. Hello all the time. And also we have Chun Li today with us, who directing our Planet Destiny. Hi, Chun Li. Good day. Yeah, you still mute. Okay. Chun Li, I just have a news that you finally able to gather with us for today artist talk. Do you want to say something about your work or about the festival, about this festival itself?
Okay. Okay. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
But my English is not good. So maybe I speak Chinese, and I hope I ask my friend speak English. She is Wang Meiyi. OK，美一你进来一下，我说英语，因为我这个东西我说不好。
对。
OK。
没关系，你就这么说吧。我这么说他们
OK。就是我在做这个作品的时候，当时是在学校里面，我还没有毕业。由于这个作品本来是一个舞蹈剧场的作品。OK。
when he created songs, he can't graduate to university. This songs in the past was known to create theater, but due to COVID-19, he can't perform on stage. Could you? No. Can you hear me?
No.
Do you have your interpreter with you, Chun Li?
She's here. Wang Mei, sorry, Wang Mei is here. So I think
yeah, Wang Mei, you want to speak on behalf of Chun Li?
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Yeah.
I'm Ms. Li Chen's classmate. To be honest, my English is also not good. So
no, that's fine. That's fine.
Completely slowly. Fine. Yeah. He says when he creates songs, he can't graduate in university he created this dance in theater, but due to COVID-19, he can't perform it on the stage. So he become it to make a film. Yeah，你再说。
OK，然后当时是非常就是因为由于我们在学校里面做舞蹈剧场作品是在中国是没有办法进行观看和演出的。
没事，你再说。
所以我就在学校把我的团队和朋友一起带到一个非常美丽的一个场景地点进行的拍摄的这个舞蹈剧场舞蹈影像作品。
due to COVID, oh yeah. Hello.
There you go. Hi.
Yeah. He said, due to COVID-19, lots of theaters in my country is closed, and the government of my country, yeah, you know. So we need to create it, make it to video. So Li Chen bring us to create this dance in beautiful places. Yeah.
然后我们当时是把之前在舞蹈剧场里面的很多元素都保留下来，然后又在现场拍摄的，跟摄影师去沟通，拍摄了很多有意思的镜头。最后我又回到家里面进行自己的一个作曲和剪辑。OK.
Yeah. He said lots of element and movement he lived in the video and bring me to create this dance. He create with photographers and dance together. Yeah. 继续。
所以就是我当时拍了有1个小时的素材，但最后我把它剪辑成了10分钟。然后我又自己进行了一个作曲，然后这个作品更多的是花费了很多后期的制作。OK.
He said in the past this video about 1 hour, but he cut a lot of primary video and the movement and leave the very excellent part in this video. Yeah. 继续。
OK. 最后就是我非常感谢学校有这样的平台机会，能让我们各个不同专业的人聚到一块儿去做这么样的一个作品。然后也锻炼了我很多除了编舞以外的能力。
He said thanks for our university to give his lots of opportunity to create some dance with different person who study in different area can help it to improve his lots of different ability. 继续。
OK.
Yeah.
OK.
Okay.
Yeah.
We still will continue our chit chat, but I also want to pointing out that it is always it's always interesting to know that during the pandemic we also not just stop to create, but also find another awareness and how to prolong it or to create our craft, our work. Maybe from I'm basically a stage performer, and then during the pandemic it start to give me another awareness of how to work with the camera as well. And I also want to go to Effie. Effie, I could not agree more with the Melati has been said about where that you presenting within your work a lot of images and but I also noticed there's a another material that you put in inside your film, such as the fabric that covering the dancer. Um, I think I want to. Could you tell us a little bit about within how you within your creative process? Um, yeah.
Hello.
Uh,
First of all, it's nice to meet you, and thank you very much for selecting and awarding my film. I wanted to say that it is very important for this film because IMAJITARI is the first international screening it's having. So we are very happy, all the team, because it's a small team of people that made this film. I did the direction, but the dancer and choreographer is Olga Yanaki, and the editing was made in collaboration with Pietro Radin, so who also helped with the camera, and also Panos. He did the photography, the lights, Panos Kefalos of the film. And so we're very happy to be here. Let me say some things about about the film. I'm also initially an experimental filmmaker, and I was make experimental films since 2013. When then I decided that I would like to make more hybridic films to combine different styles. I mean, also to include performance in more traditional cinematic forms. So that's how I went to dance school. And Olga, the dancer and performer, was my teacher there. So I decided to make her portrait in a way, and all the filming took place in the studio, in the dance studio, where we had the lessons. And about the process, it was a series of choreographies of improvisation mainly. We only discussed and decided about the themes, the more general outlines. Because Olga has a very long research in the relationship between the performer, the dancer and the material, or the dancer and the space. And I wanted to film all her research, um, but also put in the frame of the question of identity and what is identity. What does it mean? I mean, something that has to do with our physical appearance. It's something that has to do with where we come from. It's something that we have lived in the past, or something that it's under because it comes from also our experiences, and it's in constant transformation, what identity is and what does it consist of. So we did the shooting of 4+1. I mean 4+1 because there are four short choreographies, and one choreography that is only the face. It's a very close up of the face, and she does things only with her face. So it is 4 with the whole body and 1 for the face. And then in the editing process, we just mix these choreographies. And every choreography concludes in a special time in the film. So all the combination of the choreographies tries to say a statement about identity in coordination with what we feel, what we are, how other people see us, and also to include the research of the dancer with the materials and the fabric. Yeah. And it was a lot of editing and post-production because we tried to also include the multiple images, the multiple identity within a person. So it was a post-production also there. The post-production and the editing took much longer than the filming itself. So in order to create because I wanted to create a choreography that you cannot see on stage, but you can also see through video, and that was the challenge, to see something that you couldn't see live. That
exactly. Yeah. And I really like that you brought about editing. Previously, me and also with my college also talks about that. I mean, we talk about maybe that the editing is also a practice of choreography. Do you agree with that?
Yes, we try to do exactly that because I was first and mainly a filmmaker and a dancer lately, more late in life. So I wanted, to how to creatively use the editing process of the video in order to create a new hybrid choreography that you can experience only by watching it through video.
Yeah,
It was a purpose.
It is. Thank you, Evie. And
Thank you.
it also brings me Evie pointing out how the film is also pinpoint about the dancer body and also the material they're working on and also the editing practice as well. And in with our other guest artists today, Inasan. With your work tree. I also noticed that this work is also. I hope I'm not too simplified that, but it's mainly circulating around the archive of Buto. So I found it very interesting that for me as a dance artist, it feels like you are choreographing the archives. Now the archives that I perceive is mostly text, pictures, and videos. Depends on the times, no? So because a lot of old archives maybe not being filmed but written mostly. But and I seen your film Tree. Uh, it's yeah, it's not just artistically executed, but it's also give me um, it produce a knowledge coming from it. So and also and I also noticed that you also putting sort of like a virtual reality, a hologram that you somehow it's makes me aware of the frame and the scale. Could you tell us more about that, Inasan?
話す。はい。Thank you for selecting my video. So, sorry, I speak Japanese.
That's okay. That's fine.
今説明いただいたように、このビデオは、舞踏の一つのアーカイブであるというのは、その通りだと思います。
As you mentioned, this video, this film is a archive of Buto. Yes. はい。
まず、ダンスをアーカイブするっていう時に、まず単純に映像表現、映像で、ビデオで記録しておくっていうことはとても重要で、この3人の、大野和夫、大野義人、土方辰巳という舞踏ダンサーは、割と多くのビデオが残っていたということがあります。だから、作る前からすでに彼らのオリジナルのビデオアーカイブというものがあったというのがとても重要なモチベーションでした。
So to archive dance, video is a very good way, very critical way to archive dance. And the three dances we had, the three legendary Buto dances, they all had very good video archives, and that started off our project. はい。
そして、そのビデオから次の時代にダンスを、立体的にアーカイブする方法として、ホログラムが有効ではないかという実験をしました。
And to pass these dance, the choreography on of the three legendary dances to the next generation, I thought that 3D virtual reality was an interesting way to do it.
そしてこの作品が大野和夫と義人さん、 土方辰巳っていう3人が出てきますけど、この3人が同じ舞台に立ったっていう事実がないので、こういった、現代的な、なんていうんですかね、幻想的なビデオっていう方法で3人を同じ映像の中で登場させてコラボレーションさせるっていうことも一つの、まあ、ファンタジーであるということが言えます。
And the three dancers who choreographed the three legendary dancers, Tatsumi Hijikata, Kazuo Ono, and Yoshito Ono, they never collaborated in one performance piece. So our film made that possible in a modern way, but it is in a way a fantasy as well.
はい。それから、もう一番最初のシーンで、ウィリアム・クラインの写真が出てくるんですけど、こういう。
In the first scene of the film, there's a photograph by William Klein.
ウィリアム・クラインは9月に亡くなってしまいました。
William Klein passed away last month.
で、この写真は1961年にウィリアム・クラインが東京に来て、この3人を撮った写真です。
This photograph is the work of William Klein in 1961. He came to Tokyo and photographed the three legendary Buto dancers together.
ですので、このウィリアム・クラインに対する、オマージュであり、挑戦であるという、そういう作品でした。
So this piece was an homage and a challenge to William Klein as well.
はい。はい。Thank you.
Thank you, Ina-san, also Kuroda-san, for translating. Yeah, I mean, it is obvious for me. It is an extensive work of research. You started since 2013, around 2013, 2014. Yeah. Yeah, I want to ask another question, but maybe I want to pointing out something that I observed from your work is that how you compose the visual of this film, because I'm in my amateur perspective, it seems like there is a lot that you are very pay attention to the frame details. I see that that I could what you say before that that these three Buto artists never been in the same stage or same performance before, but in a way through a modern way of films and also editing, perhaps that it they could shown in the same space and also somehow telling a bit about more fantasy and imagination as well. And yeah, I also noticed that you are also a visual scenographer. Do you think it's also influenced a lot to your films, Ina-san?
質問ね。そう、フレーミング、そうですね。大体、例えば舞台を記録する場合は、ダンサーが当然全身映像のフレームの中に入っていて、それがこうずっと追っかけられているっていうのが、レコード、記録映像のルールだと思うんですが、それではない方法であるっていうのは一つ言えると思います。
So when we document stage performance piece, the way to document the stage performance piece, we follow the main dancer, and to include the full body of the dancer in the frame is we basically do that. But in this film, we did something different.
それで、おそらくさっき、エビさんもおっしゃってたように、フレーミングとエディティングっていうものが映像作家の中でのあるダンスのこう手法というか、ダンス的な映像表現につながっていくんじゃないかなって思います。
as Evie mentioned, for the filmmakers, framing and editing is a way to choreograph their films.
Thank you so much for such a comprehensive input for this conversation. And if I could go back again with Evie, so Evie, if I think whoever seen your work, the circular identity, also let's say being out with the images, and also the way that you are framing, and to really enhance not just the body but the material that attached to its body, which is you say that before that it's also depart from your collaborators, your choreographers, also in a way that their curiosity with working with the materials. How you realize it within the filmmaking? I mean, I think there's a certain artistic decision that you what you call like very pinpoint to it.
Yeah, this as I said before, this comes also from the choreographers Olga's research, the relationship with the material, but it's also I totally personally agree with that because all the film took place in an empty space. The space was empty and it was in total black, and we didn't light anything from the space. Just and the only thing that had light, it was the dancer and whatever she wore or chooses to hold. So all the there is no scenography or the scenery of the film, just the person and the material, and everything else was black, and it was, I mean, the space. It was just black. It was nowhere. I mean, so it is very important. It was very important, the materials, and we very carefully chose what materials will be used in the film, so that they have.
That's interesting.
Yeah, we chose the materials because in the studio, it is also, how they because Olga and her collaborator Antonis teach also physical theater and dance, and they input the dance and the choreography in physical theater. So that's why they had a very special relationship with the objects, and how, and with the space, and how the performer reacts to the object, the space, and the material, and what this material may also, make give an idea to the performer during an improvisation, because it was mainly improvisation, and anything could happen. I mean, we had in mind what we would like to be the outcome, but it was also open to be surprised, to the dancer to be surprised by the material or the object she used during the filming.
Well, I really like the way you explain that that you, and also with all of your collaborators, making decision about the material that you want to use within this film. It seems like the texture of the materials of the fabric also form the texture of the film, because because I've seen there is a stretch fabric, but also there is a more stiff and a rigid fabric, and it gives an idea. For me, the idea of the circular identity, or I also perceive it as a distortion of the identity somehow. I think
exactly, it was like that. Besides the dancer and the choreography, the material was the second, thing that had and it was just those two, the body and the material.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, again, it's not just filming the choreographic work, but also to dive in and so questioning what is choreography or what is cinematography in a way to expand the practice itself. And also, you mentioned it that you also learn dance. Is that specifically for this project, or in the future you are want to continuing this?
No, I start attending the Studio Plefsis, the dance studio, where and there I met Olga. I didn't know her before. She was my teacher, and I
Okay.
did also some summer, you know. So I wanted to make her portrait in a way after the first year of my studies, and then I completed the studies, and then COVID came, so we did some, you know, it was difficult because you know, you need the physical, you know, with the dance. But yeah, I like. I think that movement it's very very important, you know, aspect. And also as a filmmaker, I really like to have as much knowledge as possible from all the departments that cooperate in a film. So I initially wanted to go there because they also teach the physical theater and have the experience of the performer. How does a performer, you know, how can I, as a filmmaker, um, help the performer? So I started the lessons that way, but I really liked it and I really got engaged to all the movement and dance. So I decided that continue my studies in dance. And yeah.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a way that filmmaking is also a collectively work, no? It's done by many hands. There's also many disciplines and backgrounds, and I suppose that also nice to dive into multi practices to know the logic or the medium that we're working on. But it's also makes me I also wondering with Inasan with this work of three. I said it before. It's also not just an artistic expression, but also become a production of knowledge. You start an extensive research of Buto archive. If I may ask, what this what is your inspiration in the first place when you start to studying or researching on the Buto archives, and then later on it getting more big and more complex as it is right now?
はい。なんだろう。そもそもは、一番最初は、大学生の時に、大野和夫の映像を大学の授業で見たというのが、まあ一番最初の、体験で、舞踏体験で、もうそれは、びっくりして、そして感動したというのを覚えています。
When I was a college student, in one class, I saw the video of a Buto dancer, Ono Kazuo, and that was my first Buto experience. And it was very shocking for me.
僕はその時映画を勉強していたので、そこで映画とダンスっていうのが何かつながったですね。
And I was studying film as a student, so that linked dance and film inside me.
それから少し10年ぐらいしてから、大野義人さんを撮影することがあって、そこからより深く舞踏を撮るということが自分のキャリアになってきました。
And about 10 years later, I had this opportunity to film Yoshito Ono, who is Kazuo Ono's son, and that started my career as a filmmaker to involve with Buto.
それから 日本でも舞踏のアーカイブというのが増えてきたり、ダンスのアーカイブにというものが注目されてきたりしたんですけど、集めることと同時に公開することをどうやってしていくかっていうことを考えたときに、こういったダンスフィルムっていう風な形で、舞踏の映像を、いろんな国の人に見てもらうというのは、舞踏を広めるためにも有効ではないかなと思いました。
And Buto, archives of Buto and archives of dance in Japan, these archives, there are more archives of Buto and dance, but the main focus of these archives are to collect like videos and these different materials, but my main interest is in how to publish these archives. And so I thought that creating dance films is a way to publish these archives out to the world. はい。
はい。
Thank you so much. And Inasan, it's a huge work that you did, also with if I'm not mistaken, NPO Dance Archive Network, right? Yeah. And before we continue, I would like also to remind our audience here in Zoom and also in YouTube who watch it right now, that you can also, if you have question or if you have any thoughts about our artist's film today, or maybe dance film or cinematography, or in generals, you could write it down in YouTube. In Zoom, for our audience in Zoom, you can also chat, putting it inside the chat box, or if you want to talk directly, you can raise your hand. So do we have question already? So let me check. Yeah, we can give some time for people maybe wants to formulate their thoughts or question. But I want to invite Chun Li one more time. Hi, Chun Li. Hi again. Yeah. Chun Li, you said that one of the reasons that you make this film is also because the global pandemic, the COVID. So you're preparing stage performance, but then you make a film instead. So you are in, if I'm not mistaken, you are based in China, right? And so how is the filmmaker there, or maybe choreographers or performance artists working during these last 2 years? Are they shifting their practices into a cinema as well? Can you share something about it, Chun Li?
他说，wait me, I translate for him.
Yeah.
他说你说你在疫情期间就是编创这个东西，然后你能分享一下在你编创这个舞蹈视频的时候，就是这一些感想什么的，可能是这个意思。
OK，最开始创作这个作品的时候，我是
等一下，李晨，Hi, excuse me, I want to ask you means he need to share some idea and film about this creating a process.
Yeah, and especially during pandemic, because Chun Li said that he's preparing a performance, but because pandemic, he makes a film instead. Is that correct? And because that's what yeah.
Yeah, I know. 他说那个让你分享一些想法和尤其是度过这个疫情期间的如何创作的过程啊。
OK，当时我的家乡是在湖北武汉，我的家乡那里正好是疫情爆发的，就是整个世界爆发的第一个地点。
He said his home in Hubei province in China. It is the first places to happen the epidemic COVID-19. Yeah. 说
武汉，然后这个作品其实是有一种，就是世界毁灭的一种预想在里面，是一种毁灭之后的一种假象。
Okay. He said this work about our world, our home. He want to say if this world break some density, we need to do something. We need to have hope about our life. Yeah. 继续。
然后我也有对战争的一些思考，最近的一些国际情况、国际斗争，包括对环境的破坏。Okay.
He said this work about the subject of war. Yeah, he want to say we need to protect our environment, our life. Yeah. 继续。
所以就是我希望就是我们的一个世界可以消除国界，消除政治斗争，就是所有的人都可以紧密的在一起，我们一起探索一些世界以外的一些新的文明，而不要自己把自己给毁灭了。Okay.
He says he hope lots of person who from different country are become one home, one world. We need to explore some culture, some lots of things together, and protect our world. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Chenli. I mean, you said it very briefly that, and also I read your profile that you are director, choreographers, and dancers. You are studying at the Modern Dance Department of Beijing Dance Academy. So I think what makes our group today rich is it's not just there is not just filmmaker who with us today, but also choreographers. I like performers and directors who also maybe not shifted but expanding their practices into cinematography. And I really like the idea that the artistic practice is not just a narrow path; it's actually more extensive and more expanded. And if I could relate it what Inasan and also what Effie shared with us today. Remember when Effie told us she decided to studying dance and then continue to study dance because she's like it. I mean, it's also for me, it's also form of diving into other practices as well. And also Inasan, who's a visual scanographer, now working with archives, and how this experience also mold and form their work as well. So there's a lot of offering through their work as well. So before we continue to the Q&A, I've seen some of the question already coming from YouTube. I would like to put on some short video from the director of Le Bleu, Daniel Hugh and Stefan Manduslut. They cannot be with us today, but they sent us a gratitude video. Okay, let's just watch the video from them first.
Hi everyone, my name is Danielle Huijge. I'm a Belgian/Dutch choreographer based in Rotterdam. Previous year, I made together with Coral Film, a film production company also based in Rotterdam, the film L'Heure Bleue. And a few weeks ago, we received that we were selected for your festival. And a few days ago, we received an email saying that we are one amongst the 5 other artists winning the best work at the festival. Thank you so much to your team, to the juries, to our audiences. Unfortunately, we cannot be there live, neither online, but we hope you have a very nice event and a very good time. We feel very delighted with the prize, and it gives us the opportunity to think further about other works. So once again, thank you very much. I give you a lot of hugs and kisses, and I hope to see you soon around in the future. Enjoy. See you.
Thank you so much from Daniel. So we have already some question coming from YouTube. David Tandayu, this is the question from David Tandayu in YouTube. So I will translate it in English. He said, "Good evening. I was watch the screening yesterday and seeing some films yesterday. Yeah. And do you think? I think she asking to all of you. You know, do you think dance film could be like an art video or video art with a uncommon visualization, or is it different?" And thank you. I think that's his question. So is it dance film is the could be like video art with like more experimental or more not common visual, or it could be, or is it actually two different things? Do any of you three want to answer or give some perspective, your own perspective? Yeah, like Evie, do you want to say something?
Yes, I can answer. So yeah, because for me, at first I was an experimental filmmaker and I did video art. The process is similar. I mean, with the experimental and also it's similar with documentaries even. I mean, how you make the script or the scenes that some simple outlines before the shooting. But in the dance film, of course, it is very important what you film that has to do with movement or dance. That's why I think the movement is very present. When in the video art or in experimental film or in any other kind, this is not necessary. Not that it does not exist, because also in a fiction film, a traditional film, also the actors movement, it's very important. So I mean, it's the limits between the different genres of filmmaking that I'm not very fond of. I like to, you know, be in the boundaries, in the limits of different kinds of genres of filmmaking. So yes, you can. I think you can do it with many ways. I mean, you can do a very traditional filming of a video dance, or maybe you can do a very experimental thing with video dance. It's up to perspective of the filmmaker.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Evie. Inasan, do you want to add something, or do you have another perspective as well with that?
ダンスフィルムの場合は、まずダンスっていうモチーフがはっきりあるっていうことが、まあ、モチーフだったり、コンテクストがはっきりあるっていうことが一つの特徴なので、やっぱりダンスっていうのが一体何なのかなっていうことが、 その作品をこう深めていく何か要素なんじゃないかなとは思います。
So when I think about dance films, the motif or the context of a dance film is of course a dance. So when we create dance films, we think about what is dance, and that is yes, that's dance films.
ダンスという定義がいろんな国によっても違うし、アーティストによっても違うから、それをまたこうどう映像にしていくかって言った時にもっと広がっていくっていうことかなっていう印象ですね。
The definition of dance varies in countries and in each of the artists, the filmmakers. So the variation of dance led us make different variations of dance films, and deepens the genre itself.
Yeah. Thank you for your view, Inasan. And we have the last question, I think, before we conclude tonight. So could you, three of you, perhaps give us like a perspective, a short, briefly, how do you see the development or the scenery of dance film in your country or in your locality? Could you give us a perspective about it? This is from Geraka Nata Prabaswara from YouTube. Chen-Li, do you want to start? So how dance film in China right now, Chen-Li?
Hi. Yeah.
Hello. Yeah.
Hi. Hello. 他跟你说一下，在中国舞蹈是一个什么感觉？
哦，我这边打不开静音了。
你静音了没有啊
OK，
你说。
在中国，我们从小会接触到很多的专业知识，然后会让我们有一个非常严密的一种训练方式，但是这个它有好有坏。
Okay. It says, when I was a child in my country, we need to exercise a lot of dance and go to dance school. But in my country, there are a lot of dance regulation. It is a bad situation and have some good situation.
Yeah. And do you find it now a lot of artists makes a dance film in China?
Could you speak again?
There is a do you see that there is a lot of filmmaker making dance film or choreographers making dance film right now in China?
他说，你就是在编创舞蹈的过程中是什么的感觉？在中国？
其实，在中国的话，做一些艺术创作，你要就是做一些创作要，你那么有回音。就是在中国做一些创作，你要无法100%的说出自己的一个心里话。因为就可能会被管制，不让你演出。Okay.
In my country, we can't create some dance about negative. If we create some dance about negative, we can perform it on the stage. And the government of my country forbidden this kind of dance to show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it's quite the same almost with us here in Indonesia for the last
Yeah.
2 years. Yeah. I mean, it's
It is
always good to
fascinating.
see artists responded to the current situation, to the contemporary context what we are dealing right now. But now, I want also to hear from Evie. You are also filmmaker, experimental filmmaker as well. Now, with this form of dance film, do you see in Greece um, how the development of the dance film there?
The development here is growing fast. There are many screenings of dance films, and the audience is very attracted to the dance video, because there are some very nice dance festivals that didn't used to include videos, but in the last years they are starting to include also video in their programs. So the dance film have many more opportunities to be screened. And also in Athens, there is a video dance, very big video dance festival, but there are some new ones that are growing. And the first screening, the national screening, because the first international screening of Circular Identity is in IMAJITARI, but in the national screening, it was in the Dare Dance Festival, that it is now in the first year, and it will go to the second. I mean, there are new festivals that are growing here. So I think, yeah, and the audience was very, satisfied and really liked the dance films. We had very good feedback from the audience in Greece.
That's super nice to
Yeah.
hear, especially
I hope
the response to a dance film, and also dance festival who responding to this like cinematography, so they included their program into their festival. So yeah, and also Inasan, how about dance film in Japan? Inasan? Yeah.
Hi. Japan. So it's a very difficult question. なんだろうな。日本、やっぱりまず一つはパンデミックがあって、ダンスの関係者がやっぱり映像に興味を持ち始めたというのが最近の感じるところです。
So in Japan, since the pandemic occurred, the stage performers, the stage dance performers are more interested in videos now. That is one factor.
で、日本はもう一つ特徴としては、ダンスフィルムを作るよりも、まず自分たちのステージの記録をきちっとした映像作家の演出で作りたいっていうリクエストが増えてきたと思います。
And one more thing in Japan is that now there are more requests from the stage dance performers, people in the theater, to document their performances with they want to document and their performances by professional video artists.
それからもう一つはダンサーがカメラを持って自分たちでビデオダンスを作ろう、ダンスアートとしてのダンスフィルムを作るっていうことがし始めている、そういう印象です。
And one more recent thing in Japan is that the dancers in theater have their own camera and they are starting to make their own dance films.
多分それは iPhone とか、ミラーレスカメラとか、そういった機材がダンサーたちも自分で持っているっていう、そういったテクノロジーの、発展もあるんじゃないかなと思います。
The dancers have their own iPhones and mirrorless cameras, and those technologies are one reason that the dancers are starting to make their own dance films.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Inasan, Kuroda-san. Yeah, I mean, I think it's not just the dance film. I think it's already, we could trace back a dance film from many, many years ago, but I think the awareness starting to arise, or not starting, but it's commonly known during, at least in here, during the pandemic. And also, Inasan also pointing out something that now maybe generation now have more access and awareness to the technology, to the camera. We are so get used to it, social media, how to use camera, our perspective of framing, and yeah, I mean it's a way of expressing. I think that's also makes it interesting. So, and thank you so much for today's artist talk. If I have to conclude today's talk, I think I want to keep borrowing Mbak Melati said before, that dance film is not just filming the choreographic work, but this is the part that I like. It's also transporting you to somewhere and to a certain moment. And also from Inasan, we know that the dance film or filming or film or cinema is not just an artistic production. It is a production of knowledge. And then from the Evie as well, I also learned that that cinema, this film work, filmmaking, is a work of collective. That as a director or as a choreographer as well, that we need to dive into this multi-perspective of many disciplines and how to enrich ourselves with the different point of view, with different perspective, while at the same time also have a strong and grounded foundation of perspective. Also from Chen Li with his work, Our Planet Destiny, how it responds to the contemporary context that we are dealing it right now globally, that arts most of the time responding to this reality that we are live right now. So the way that we expressing things, just because we cannot perform on stage, we still can find a way to express. But this is coming from the intentional, not longer as a alternative, but maybe based on the what we intend to work on. So there's many things that I learned today, and I hope that everyone who stay with us within Zoom and also inside the YouTube also could enrich ourselves with coming from this dialogue. Yeah, I think that's it for today. Thank you so much, Inasan, Kroda-san. Thank you, Evie. Thank you, Chun-Li and Wang Mei. Maybe before we really close for today, we really finished for today. Could anyone give a closing statement, like one sentence of your perspective as an artist, as a filmmaker? Yeah, could you, maybe we could start from Inasan, like a closing statement.
一言、これからもダンスと映画の接点を見つけて映画を作っていきたいと思っていますので、またインドネシアの皆さんに見せられたらいいなと思ってます。
I will go on thinking about dance and film, their contact point, and create dance films in the future. So I hope the audience of Indonesia would see my film again.
Thank you, Inasan. Evie, you want to continue?
Yes, I would just like to thank you very much about today's talk and about the festival and the opportunity for my film to be screened. And of course, I would like to see you in some next editions, and I will Also, keep trying to mix the different genres and expect different, outcomes every time.
Thank you, Evie. Chen-Li, do you want to say something for the closing?
Okay, thank you very much. This is good days.
说汉语吗？没事。
对，希望以后能够见到大家一起做创作。
He says he hope in the future he can see everyone next time and continue to create dance in the future.
Our hopes too.
Okay.
In the future, we can also gather in the
I
same
also
space.
feel very lucky. I can talk off with them. Yeah.
Thank you, Wang Meiyi, for translating Chen-Li, and
Yeah,
thank you so much again for everyone. Yeah, I think that's we conclude for today's artist talk, and I want to say one more things about IMAJITARI International Dance Film Festival is a program under Jakarta Art Council. So the member of the dance committee of Jakarta Art Council is me, Jos Marsi, and also with my other 4 colleagues, Yola Yulfianti. Yola is here. Maybe Yola could turn on the video. So there's also Saras Dewi and Siko Setianto and Aiko Senosunoto. So this program made possible with thank you so much. Also, not just the government art council, Kine Forum as our venue partner for the screening, but mainly I would like to say on behalf of dance committee, I would like to say thank you for all the artists who already submitted their work for IMAJITARI 2022. I would like also to say thank you again, my biggest gratitude for this year judges, jury, Mbak Melati Suryodarmo. Thank you so much, Mbak Melati. And thank you for the other 2 who cannot join with us today, Yuki Aditya and Sidi Saleh. So, yeah, if I miss something, blah, 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 I think that's it. And I hope we can meet in the future directly. And thank you so much. Please, I'm looking forward for your future work. Inasan, Evie, and Chen-Li, and also the other artists. Thank you. I'm Jos Marsi. So this year, IMAJITARI 2022, congratulations again for 6 Best Dance Film. See you later on the next edition, which is the 5th edition of IMAJITARI. Ciao.